Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Neeraj Agarwal from University Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management, Punjab University, Chandigarh. Now, I am taking a topic on masala, paste and gravies under the paper titled Food Production Operations and Management. After learning this module, one can understand about the blending and concept of masala in Indian cooking, able to know about the various combination of spices, various regional spices and their usage, and able to understand various kind of dry and wet masala and their usage. They will be able to know about various paste used in Indian cuisine, and they will able to understand the concept of making gravies and knows its type, recipes and usage in Indian cuisine, and they will be also able to understand the important points of making good gravy. Now we start with the introduction. Indian spices have been a heart to Indian culture, and its fame is much older than Indian history. During their long and fascinating history, spices have often been more valuable than gold or precious stones, and its trade has marked an exponential history of our country. Indian cuisine is one of the most unique cuisine in the world. The true essence of Indian cuisine is due to the successful combination of spices with different combination of spices in ranging proportions. One can prepare many curries with distinct character. The main factors in using spices are the following. The choice of spices is to be used in the dish is important. Usually, a dish contains not more than 5 to 6 spices, out of which 1 or 2 are predominant. The sequence of adding spices in a dish and a time allowed for each spice to release its full aroma and flavor. There may be many ways in which spices are used, like whole, grounded, powdered and blended. Blending of spices and concept of masala. The Indian term for spice is masalas. Every spice have a different effect on the recipe because of its distinct nature, flavor and aroma. The art of blending can be done through various ways such as frying, broiling, grating and grinding to a fine powder or coarse form. Blending can be done by combination whole spices, and each region of India has its own spices and their combination that are influenced by the climatic condition of that particular region. There are different categories of spices such as hot spices like red chilies, cloves, pepper, cornel, etc. Sweet spices like fennels, seeds, cinnamon, mace, etc. Regional spices are the spices which are used in particular region like mustard seeds and poppy seeds in East Indian, saffron, dry, ginger in Kashmir, North India, etc. The word masala may be used in many contexts in India, such as for single spice, blend of spices, or even for the base of curry that has been sauteed in oil. Dry and wet masalas. Masala can be dry form or wet paste form. It depends on cooking technique, requirement of dish and regional preferences. Masalas can be generally categorized into two types. One, a dry masala. Second, a wet masala. Dry masala. As the name suggests, dry masala are those which are dry in form. These masalas can be whole, coarsely powdered or in powdered form. They might also include those ingredients which are specifically dried. Some ingredients might also be specifically dried in order to be blended with other dry spices. For example, mint is dried and powdered to be used as an ingredient in kebab masalas. Amchuri masala. Their ingredients are amchur, aniseed, cumin, ginger powder, coriander, red chili, salt, ajwain. The powder of raw mangoes. It is a souring agent and is used to add piquancy to the masala. Amchuri masala is mostly used in stuffing, okra, baby brinjal, or bitter gourd to create dishes. The names of these dishes are suffixed or prefixed with the names of the masala. For example, amchuri bhindi, etc. Potli masala. The ingredients for it is pepper, peppercorns, clove, stone pepper, allspice, cinnamon, mace, green cardamom, root of betel. This can be classified as Indian sachet of spices. In Hindi, it literally means a pouch of spices. It is a bouquet of spices tied up in a muslin bag and left in a curry or liquid to let the flavors infuse. There can be many variations of this masala. This masala is added for easy removal of the spices after they have infused with the liquid. It has various uses in Indian cooking. It is used to flavor curries and also to flavor the water or stock for biryani. Khada masala. The ingredients used are cinnamon, cloves, green cardamom, black cardamom, cumin. Khada means whole spices. There can be various types of whole spices that are tempered into hot oil to allow the flavors to infuse with the oil. The purpose of this could also be to remove the unwanted flavors from the fat, such as from ghee. In Lucknow, it is a ritual to add some khada masala to desi ghee to remove the unwanted flavor. This procedure is known as ghee durust dena. If the same spices are tied up in a bag, they will be called potli masala. The main purpose of the khada masala is to flavor the oil. The spices contain volatile oils that help to release their flavor better in warm oil. The spices can be slightly crushed before adding to hot oil or fat. Garam masala. The ingredients used are cumin, black cardamom, black peppercorns, coriander seeds, cloves, cinnamon, mace, bay leaf, green cardamom. Garam masala is a blend of aromatic spices which is used to give flavor to the dish. This masala is usually sprinkled on top of the dish before being served to retain all the aromas. There could be a slight variation in the ingredients used in different parts of the country. The individual spices are broiled separately as they all have different degrees of cooking. They are broiled over low heat until a pleasing aroma comes out. In hotels, the spices are arranged in a tray and kept under the hot lamp or to a pickup counter. The heating is done to expel the moisture from the spices and to bring out the flavor. Avdi garam masala may include some more aromatic spices such as rose petals and star anise in addition to the ones mentioned above. Chaat masala. The ingredients are cumin, peppercorns, black salt, dry mint leaves, kasuri methi, green cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, asafoetida, tartaric acid, mace, dried mango powder. As the name suggests, this masala is used with the Indian street food called chaat. Chaats are mostly associated with sour, piquant, and spicy tidbits that are eaten as snacks. The piquancy in chaats is created by adding chaat masala. Chaat masala is rarely made in hotels or homes as it is readily available in the market as a condiment. Chaat masala can be added to various other spices to create more masala blends such as kebab masala, etc. The masala is cooked by broiling the spices individually and grinding them to a smooth fine powder. Some masalas are sifted through muslin cloth to get the smooth powdery texture. Chana masala. The ingredients required are coriander, cumin, red chilies, ginger powder, dried mango powder, cinnamon, black pepper, black cardamom, garlic, cubeb pepper, nutmeg, clove, mace, dried pomegranate seeds. This is a regional masala from Punjab. Many people make it at home, but mostly it is available in the market as a condiment. This masala is used as a flavoring agent in chickpeas curry from Punjab. This masala gives the required amount of spice and piquancy to the dish. Chana masala is also used to flavor the dark pindi chole, a famous dish from Rawalpindi in Pakistan. Pudina masala. The ingredients required for preparing pudina masala are dried mint, chili powder, dried pomegranate seeds, chaat masala, garam masala, black salt. This masala is a blend of dried mint powder with other spices. It is predominantly flavored with dried mint powder. It is used for making Indian flatbread called pudina prantha. This masala is also used with kebab masala for kebabs or as sprinkling for various chaats. Now, kebab masala. Ingredients required are chaat masala, chili powder, black salt, and garam masala. There can be varieties of masalas made for kebabs. Usually, kebabs are sprinkled with chaat masala, but one can create unique kebab masalas. Toast the kasuri methi and crush to a powder. Mix all the ingredients and keep it in a container. Though this can be made in bulk in the hotel, it is advisable to make it once a week. You can be creative and combine spices with chaat masala as a base and create different types of kebab masala. Amritsari Machi Masala. Ingredients are cumin, coriander, mint powder, ajwain, asfaida, amchur, ginger powder, chili powder. This is again one of the regional masalas from Punjab and is typically used in the preparation of Amritsari Machli. The spices are individually broiled and crushed to a powder. The fish is marinated in this spice blend and then batter fried. This spice is also added to the batter that is made of besan. Panch Puran Masala. The ingredients are anise, mustard, cumin, fenugreek, nigella, radhuni. This is a regional spice from Bengal and is used in tempering of vegetables, lentils, and fish. As the name suggests, this is a blend of 5 spices. Radhuni is optional, but most of the classic recipes include it as a part of Panch Puran. This spice adds a peculiar taste to the Bengali dishes and is a mixture of whole unroasted spices. It is always tempered in hot oil. Achari masala. The ingredients required are anise, mustard, cumin, fenugreek, nigella seeds. It is also known as Indian pickling spice. This masala blend is used in flavoring pickles and hence the name. This is a combination of the above mentioned spices and is used in pickles. It is also tempered in hot mustard oil to create achari gravy. These spices are used whole and rarely crushed as they will give a bitter flavor. Bhatti da masala. Ingredients are ajwain, green cardamom, black cardamom, clove, bay leaves, cumin, coriander, mace, nutmeg, black pepper, ginger powder, kasuri methi. This is another regional spice from Punjab. This masala is made by broiling the spices individually and grinding them into a fine powder. In this masala, the spices are broiled until they attain a darker color. This masala is used in kebab grilled over open charcoal grill or sigri is also known as bhatti in Punjab and thus the name of the spice blend. Now, dum ka masala. The ingredients required are anise, ginger powder, green cardamom, black cardamom. It is a blend of aromatic spices and is suitable from dum cooking, where the dish is cooked covered with heat applied from both top and below. The slow heat in dum cooking helps to extract the flavors out of this masala. This masala is usually used for Mughlai foods cooked by the method of dum cooking. There could again be several variations of dum masala depending upon the regions they are used in. Now, gunpowder masala. Ingredients are dried curry leaves, red chilies, sesame seeds, black pepper. The name suggests that this masala is very hot. This is a regional masala from Tamil Nadu in South India. The ingredients are broiled separately and ground to a fine powder. The powder is used to flavor boiled rice with ghee, which is eaten as a meal. It is also served with idlis in the breakfast. This masala is served as a condiment rather than used as a spice in cooking. Bafat masala. The ingredients required are red chili, coriander seeds, cumin, mustard, pepper, turmeric, clove, cinnamon. This masala is used both in vegetarian and meat dishes. It is a popular regional masala of Mangalore region of South India. Traditionally, the spices used in this masala are dried out in the sun for almost a week and then ground into powder. This can keep up to several weeks and can be used as a base for vegetables, fish, and meat preparations. It gives a pleasing aroma and color to the dish. Gouda masala. Ingredients are coriander seeds, cinnamon seeds, dry grated coconut, dried red chilies, cumin, cinnamon, asafoetida, star anise, bay leaf, peppercorn, cobra saffron. Goda masala is a regional masala from Maharashtra. It is used in many Maharashtrian preparations and also used in Konkani cuisine. Heat a very little amount of oil and lightly fry the spices in oil one by one. Keep draining the spices on a paper napkin to soak excess oil. Now grind them into powder and keep the powder in an airtight jar in a cool dry place. This spice blend can be used to flavor meat and vegetables. In case of non-availability of cobra saffron, turmeric can be used. Kolhapuri masala. Ingredients are red chili, coriander, sesame, cumin, mace, cinnamon, dry ginger, green cardamom, black cardamom, mustard, clove, bay leaf, dry coconut, garlic, poppy seed, peppercorns, asafoetida, turmeric, fenugreek, star anise, nutmeg and oil. This is one of the regional masalas from Maharashtra. It is a reddish colored masala and is very hot due to large amount of red chilies in it. Heat a very little amount of oil and slightly fry the spices in oil one by one. Keep draining the spices on a paper napkin to soak excess oil. Now grind the spice into a powder and keep in the powder in an airtight jar in a cool dry place. This spice blend is normally used to flavor meats. Rasam masala. Ingredients are red chili, coriander, cumin, peppercorns, turmeric. Rasam masala is a regional masala from South India and is used for flavoring a hot aperitif called rasam. This aperitif can be described as spiced lentil water, tempered and flavored with rasam masala and other ingredients such as tamarind, lemon, pineapple, pepper, etc. Broil the spices individually until a pleasing aroma comes out. Grind into a fine powder and store in the powder in an airtight container. There could be many variations of the rasam masala depending upon the rasam and the region it is. Wet masala are those which made by soaking the spices in liquid and grinding them into a paste. This may be the combination of dry and fresh ingredients and generally act as an thickening agent in Indian curries and gravies. The first one can be a Malabar masala. The ingredients required are coriander, anise, fenugreek, nutmeg, star anise, clove, cinnamon. This is the regional masala from South India. It is used as a base for fish curries. The spices are soaked in water and ground into a paste. Malabar masala is fried in oil to get the flavors infused into the curry. This spice also lends a thickening to the curry. Sambar masala. Ingredients are coriander, cumin, chana dal, urad dal, asafoetida, dry red chilies, peppercorn, grated coconut, fenugreek seeds, curry leaves, and turmeric. This is a regional masala from South India. It is used to flavor the lentil curry called sambar. Sambar is served as an accompaniment with South Indian meals such as idli, dosa, and vada. It is also served as a dal with rice. Sambar can be eaten any time of the day. The dry spices are broiled separately. Chana and urad dal is sauteed in a minimum quantity of oil and the entire ingredients are ground along with fresh curry leaves to a fine paste. This paste can be cooked in oil in the bringing or can be added to the broiled lentils towards the end as a tempering. Chettinad masala. The ingredients are red chili, black cardamom, cinnamon, fenugreek, anise, cumin, coriander seeds, star anise, poppy seeds, peppercorns, green cardamom, cloves, stone flour and nutmeg, capers, curry leaves, maize, grated coconut. The merchant community called Chettiars have in the dry region of Tamil Nadu. They used to travel to Southeast Asia and brought back many ingredients and spices that can be seen in their cuisine called Chettinad. Chettinad masala is one of the famous wet masalas. Except the grated coconut, all the ingredients of the masala are broiled one by one. Lightly fry the grated coconut in coconut oil until it turns brown. Grind the masala into a paste and this can keep well for months if stored in a cool dry place. It usually goes well with chicken and the name of the masala will suffix the ingredient used, for example chicken chettinad. Now we discuss about Goan masala. The ingredients required for the preparation are red chili, garlic, coriander, cinnamon, clove, green cardamom, toddy vinegar and sugar. As the name suggests, this masala is the regional masala of Goa and is predominantly used in Goan cuisine. This masala pairs up well with fish and seafood. All the spices can be placed in a blender and made into a paste with vinegar. This masala does not require broiling of spices as it will be cooked in oil along with onions and tomatoes to create a piquant and hot Goan curry. Zaguti masala. Ingredients are sliced onions, grated coconut, coriander seeds, cumin, clove, black cardamom, green cardamom and cinnamon. This is a regional masala from Goa and pairs up well with chicken. The spices are broiled separately and then made into a paste with sliced onions. The roasting of the masala is done to give a stronger flavor to this masala. This masala is cooked in oil to form the base of curries that goes well with chicken. Richadu masala. The ingredients are red chili, garlic, peppercorn, coriander, cumin, turmeric, star anise and sugar. This is a regional masala from Goa and used in fish preparations. This masala goes well with the fish preparation called pomfret richau masala, where this masala is stuffed into the belly of fish, which is then pan fried. All the ingredients are made into a paste with some vinegar. This masala is stir fried with chopped onions and fresh herbs such as chopped coriander. Balchao masala. The ingredients are red chili, cinnamon, green cardamom, peppercorn, cumin, fresh ginger, garlic. This is a regional masala from Goa and is used in preparation of seafood. such as prawns and shrimps. This masala is used to marinate the seafood, which is then cooked in oil until the dish is cooked. The spices are ground into a paste along with ginger and garlic. Sula masala. Ingredients are coriander seeds, clove, green cardamom, fennel, garlic, mustard oil, coriander roots, and peppercorn. This is the regional masala from Rajasthan. The name Sula refers to kebabs made on thick iron skewers on a sigri. The mustard oil is smoked and brought to a lower temperature. The spices are then fried in the oil except fennel, which is added to the oil in the last. The mix is then cooled and blended into a fine paste. This paste is used for marinating meats, which are then grilled on open fire. Now we discuss about tandoori masala. The ingredients required is hung yogurt, red chili, turmeric, garam masala, ginger garlic paste, malt vinegar and salt. This is a regional masala from Punjab, but this is used around India to marinate the tandoori kebabs such as tandoori chicken, tikkas, tandoori fish, etc. The red chilies are made into a paste and all the ingredients are mixed together to form a masala. The meats or vegetables are marinated with this masala for at least 6 to 8 hours and then skewered onto the seek and cooked in tandoor. Salan masala. The ingredients required are sesame seeds, cashew nuts, peanuts, desiccated coconut, peppercorn, red chili and turmeric. This is the regional masala from Hyderabad, used in making gravy called salan. The spices are broiled individually and ground together into a fine paste. This spice blend is cooked in hot mustard oil along with ginger garlic paste and other spices. Salan is usually a vegetable preparation that is used as an accompaniment with biryani. Var masala. Ingredients are garlic, shallots, red chili powder, anise seeds, black cumin, black cardamom seeds, green cardamom seeds, cinnamon, cloves, fenugreek seeds, black peppercorns, maize, star anise, nutmeg. This is the regional masala from Kashmir, and the method of preparation of this spice blend is very unique. It is made into a paste and then swung on a string and hung to dry. This spice is then crushed and used in Kashmiri curries and dishes. It is also known as Kashmiri masala tikki as it is sold in form of dry cakes. Now we are going to discuss about the common paste used in Indian cooking. A paste means the ground mix of one or more ingredients for use in curries and gravies. Many varieties paste are used in Indian cuisine to thicken the gravies or to give the base to a dish. Some of the most common paste used in Indian cooking are ginger paste. This paste is made from fresh ginger. Ginger is first scraped to remove skin and then washed so as to remove dirt. Then it is cut to a small pieces so that it can be ground easily into a paste in a mixer. Its use and storage. This paste can be used in many ways. It can be used as base for curries and even for marination of kebabs. It is normally used in conjunction with garlic paste and both together make ginger garlic paste. 60% garlic and 40% ginger is good for this paste. Sometimes only ginger juice is used to flavor the curries. It can be stored for a week under refrigerated conditions. Then garlic paste. This paste is made from peeled garlic in a grinder along with some water so as to get smooth texture. Some Mughlai dishes use fried garlic paste. This can be made by frying the garlic until golden brown and then grinding into a paste. Its use and storage. This is widely used in curries and gravies along with the ginger paste. It can be used along with the dish is to be flavored only with garlic. It is also used along with ginger in marinating kebabs. It can be stored for a week in a refrigerator. Cashew paste. To make this paste, cashew nuts are soaked in hot water for overnight to soften. It is then grounded in a mixer to get a smooth paste. Some recipes call for brown cashew paste, and in this case the cashews are deep fried until golden brown and then ground to a paste. Its use and storage. It is used as an ingredient in kebabs to enrich them. It is also used in gravies to provide thickening and base. This paste can be used for creating desserts such as kaju ki barfi. This paste is quite perishable and should be made fresh and stored in a refrigerator. The fried paste has a better shelf life than a raw one. Coconut paste. The coconut is cracked open and the fleshy part is removed from the shell. Then the skin is scraped off and the coconut is grated. This can also be done by using coconut scraper. It is then put in the blender to make paste. Coconut water can be added to get a smooth paste. Its use and storage. This is used as a base for gravies and curries and can be used for making chutney. It is quite perishable and should be made fresh and stored in a refrigerator and made once in a 2 days. Poppy seed paste. Poppy seeds are the first soaked in warm water for 30 minutes or in room temperature water overnight. It is then ground into a paste. It is easier to grind on silbatta as it becomes difficult to do smaller quantity in electric blender because of the small size of the seeds. It can be done in a grinder if the quantity is more. Its use and storage. This is used as a base for gravies and curries and is used as a thickening agent. It also provides flavor to curries, for example, aloo posto from Bengal. This is also highly perishable and should be stored in a refrigerator and made fresh once in a 2 days. Tamarind pulp. This is not a paste in real terminology as it is not ground, but it is a paste which we get by soaking tamarind in water for over an hour and then taking out the pulp. The pulp thus obtained is strained through sieve to remove unwanted particles. Its use and storage. This is used as a souring agent in curries and also provides thickening. It is widely used to make chutneys and pickles too. It can be stored for a month in a refrigerator. Red chili paste. To make this paste, whole red chilies are cleaned off any superficial dirt. The stalks are removed and then chilies are de-seeded. The chilies are soaked in warm water or boiled with a little vinegar, which helps in the deepening of the red color. When the chilies become soft, they are ground into a fine paste. The paste can be cooked in oil until a deep red color is obtained and the oil starts to float on top. Frying of chili paste helps to remove the raw taste and tones down the hotness of the chili and increases the shelf life. Garnish a curry. Now its use and storage. Red chili paste is used for marinating and flavoring kebabs to give them a deep red color. It is also added to curries for the same reason. Since the job of red chili paste is mainly to provide color to the dish, it is advisable to use milder chilies which are deep red in color such as Kashmiri chilies. This paste can be stored for over a month if kept in the refrigerator with oil floating on top. The chili oil can be used to. Now, char magaj paste. This is a combination of 4 seeds and hence the name char magaj. Squash seeds, melon seeds, cucumber seeds, and pumpkin seeds are soaked in water till they soften and then ground into a fine paste. Used in storage, this paste is used as a thickening agent in white gravies such as kormas and shahi gravy. This is also highly perishable and should be stored in a refrigerator and made fresh once in 2 days. Almond paste. This paste is made from skinless almonds. The skin is removed by blanching the almonds or soaking them in water overnight. Soaking makes the nuts softer and easier to grind. Use and storage. This paste is used for thickening some of the exotic gravies and also used a base to make badam halwa and Indian dessert, where the paste is cooked with ghee and sugar. This is also highly perishable and should be stored in a refrigerator and made fresh. Chironji seed paste. Chironji is a seed of a nut found in a fruit that abundantly grows in Chhattisgarh region of India, also known as kudapa, almond in English. This seed is extensively used as a thickening agent. Its use and storage. This paste is used as a thickening agent in white gravies such as kormas and shahi gravy. It is also used as an ingredient in kebabs. It is highly perishable and should be stored, refrigerated, and made fresh once in 2 days. Spinach paste. Boiled and refreshed spinach is ground to a paste and is kept as a basic mise plat in the Indian kitchen. Its use and storage. This paste is commonly used with other gravies such as onion tomato masala to make haryali gravy or the famous saag gosht, lamb cooked with spinach. Next is masala paste. Various types of wet masalas discussed above fall into this category of paste. Its use and storage. It is used in marination, curries, grills, etc. Next is boiled onion paste. Onions are boiled with khada masala and a small amount of vinegar till soft. This is then ground into a paste. Its use and storage is the boiled onion paste is used as a base for light colored gravies such as Mughlai, yellow and white gravies, etc. Boiled onions paste can keep well up to a week if stored in a refrigerator. Next is fried onion paste. Thinly sliced onions are deep fried until brown and ground into a paste. If a liquid needs to be added to make a paste, yogurt has to be used. Use and storage. This is used as a base for curries and gravies. It is also used as an ingredient in kebab mix. Various pastes used in Indian cuisines, that is gravies. Gravies are central part of Indian cuisine. Indian gravies are the combination of various commodities like flavoring agents, thickening agents, seasoning and coloring agent which are summed with liquid. It is also known as curry. The word curry is derived from Tamil word curry that literally means sauce. Types of gravies. There are 4 types of basic Indian gravies that commonly used to prepare many dishes and curries. However, there are some regional gravies that specifically used in regional cuisines of India. Basic gravies used in Indian cooking are brown gravy, that is mixture of onion, tomato gravy. White gravy, makhani gravy, haryali gravy and yellow gravy. Now we discuss about brown gravy, which is called onion tomato gravy. Brown gravy is the very basic preparation that becomes a base for number of dishes. It is made from onion and tomatoes and sometimes also called as onion tomato gravy or pyaz tomato ki gravy. Basic brown gravy recipe is onions, 250 grams, ginger garlic paste 30 grams, green chilies chopped 5 in number, tomatoes 150 gram, oil 50 gram, bay leaf 1 number, cardamom 2 number, red chili powder 1 teaspoon, coriander powder 2 teaspoon, turmeric powder 1 teaspoon, garam masala powder 1 teaspoon, salt 1 teaspoon. Now we will discuss how to prepare brown gravy or chopped masala. Peel, wash and chop or make paste the onions. Chop the green chilies and tomatoes. Heat oil in a handi. Add the bay leaf and cardamom and saute. Over medium heat until it begins to crackle, add onions and salt for 2 minutes or till it becomes golden brown in color. Then add ginger and garlic paste, saute for 30 seconds. Add red chilies, coriander powder, turmeric powder and salt. Add the tomatoes and cook well till the tomatoes are mashed and it starts leaving oil. Add around 150 ml of water and cook till the gravy becomes thick. Finish it with garam masala powder. Garam masala powder should be added in the last stage of preparation. It helps to retain the flavor and also gives better color to the gravy. Now we'll discuss about white gravy. White gravy is made from boiled onion paste and nuts, finished with cardamom and mace powder. It is generally used as a base for Shahi Paneer. Somewhere, Shahi Paneer is served as a tomato onion base, red or orange colored gravy that I feel is some variation. Shahi means royal and it is called so because of the use of nuts in it. The famous kormas are also considered as the derivative of white gravy. Now, I am going to discuss about the recipe to be used for making white gravy. The ingredient required are onion 300 grams, cashew nut 40 grams, majagatri 30 gram, poppy seeds 30 gram, green chilies 5 in number, ginger garlic paste 50 grams, white pepper powder 2 teaspoon, salt to taste, cream optional or 50 ml, green cardamom and mace powder 1 teaspoon, whole garam masala which includes green cardamom, black cardamom, cloves, cinnamon stick, bay leaf, mace a pinch. Now we are going to discuss how to prepare a white gravy or Shahi gravy. Peel and cut the onions into quarters and boil them. Make a paste along with the green chilies. Boil the poppy seeds and then make the white paste along with magashtari and poppy seeds. Now heat ghee in a handi, add whole garam masala and saute over medium heat until it begins to crackle. Add boiled onion paste and saute for 2 minutes. Then add ginger and garlic paste, white pepper powder and salt sauteed for 30 seconds. Add the white paste to it and cook till it starts leaving oil. Add around 150 ml of warm water and cook till the gravy becomes thick. Finish it with cream, little sugar and cardamom and mace powder. We have to keep attention that in place of using a mixture of magashtari, poppy seeds and cashew nuts, Only cashew nut can be used here. Now I am going to discuss about makhani gravy. Makhani stands for smooth texture. This word has been derived from makhan, that literally means butter in Hindi. This gravy is characterized by its velvety texture that comes from the liberal use of cream and butter, red color, and the flavor of kasuri methi. Now, the basic makhani gravy recipe and the preparation method. The ingredient required are tomatoes, that is 1 kg, ginger garlic paste 25 grams, green chilies 5 in number, ginger juliennes 10 grams, red chili powder 2 teaspoon, kasuri methi powder 1 teaspoon, garam masala powder 1 teaspoon, butter 150 grams, cream 100 grams, honey, it's optional as required. Now, whole garam masala, green cardamom, 5 pieces of black cardamom, 2 pieces of cloves, 5 pieces cinnamon stick of 2 inches, bay leaf 4 in number, black peppercorn 1 teaspoon. Now we'll discuss about how to prepare makhani gravy or butter chicken gravy. Wash and roughly chop the tomatoes. Melt half the butter in a handi, crackles the whole garam masala, then add the ginger garlic paste, green chilies, saute them and add tomatoes, salt and some water and bring it to a boil. Simmer until reduced to half, pass it through a strainer. Now the cooking. Bring it to a boil until reduced to a saucy consistency. Add the remaining butter, cream, kasuri methi and garam masala powder. Adjust the sourness with honey. Now we are going to discuss about green gravy or palak gravy. It is made from spinach and is very nutritious. Basic green gravy recipe is the ingredients required are spinach 1 kg, chopped onions 100 grams, tomatoes 150 grams, green chilies 100 grams, 10 numbers, ginger garlic paste 20 grams, coriander powder 10 grams, red chili powder 1 teaspoon, garam masala powder 1 teaspoon, whole garam masala 5 grams, salt to taste, oil 50 grams. Now we are going to discuss the preparation method of green gravy. Pick and wash the spinach thoroughly. Blanch it in boiling water and make puree along with the green chilies. Heat the oil in a dekchi, add the whole garam masala, then add the chopped onions and fry till golden brown in color. Add the ginger garlic paste and cook till it is dry. Add the coriander powder and the red chili powder. Add the tomatoes followed by salt and cook till it leaves the oil. Add the spinach paste and cook on high flame till the raw flavor of spinach is removed and it starts leaving oil. Adjust the seasoning and finish it with garam masala powder. Now we'll discuss about yellow gravy. This delicious preparation is also known as golden gravy and can be regarded as the mixture of brown and white gravy. The recipe for yellow gravy is: ingredients are onions 250 grams, ginger garlic paste 30 grams, green chilies chopped 5 in numbers, tomatoes 150 gram, oil 50 grams, bay leaf 1 in number, cardamom 2 in number, red chili powder 1 teaspoon, coriander powder 2 teaspoon, turmeric powder 1 teaspoon, garam masala powder 1 teaspoon, salt to taste, cream 50 grams. For making a white paste, we require cashew nuts 15 grams, magastari 15 grams, poppy seeds 10 grams. Now we are going to discuss how to make yellow gravy. Peel, wash and make paste of onions. Chop the green chilies and tomatoes. Prepare a white paste of cashew nuts, magastari and poppy seeds. Heat ghee in a handi, add the bay leaf and cardamom and saute over medium heat until it begins to crackle. Add onions and salt and saute for 2 minutes or till it becomes golden brown in color. Then add ginger and garlic paste. Saute for 30 seconds. Add red chilies, coriander powder, turmeric powder and salt. Add the tomatoes and cook well till the tomatoes are mashed and it starts leaving oil. Now add the white paste and cook properly. Add around 150 ml of warm water and cook till the gravy becomes thick. Finish it with cream and garam masala powder. Now I tell you the golden rules for making gravies. The number 1, the cuts of vegetables such as onion, tomato, ginger, garlic should be of same size as they will cook alike. Always smoke the mustard oil and take it off the fire and bring it to stable temperature before adding any spices for tempering. Onions should be browned first and then the ginger garlic paste or other ingredients should be added. In case of adding boiled onion paste, add ginger garlic paste before the boiled onion paste. Powdered spices should be mixed with water or other liquid before adding to browned onion. If the powdered spices are added directly, they might burn and lose the flavor. When using chopped tomatoes in a gravy, add browned onion and keep mashing them. This will thicken gravy and deepen the color of gravy. Cook the gravy on slow fire for some time so let the oil comes to the surface. Gravies should always be prepared in a thick bottom pan. Flavoring should always be added at the final stage to maintain the flavors. Now I am going to summarize this module. Masalas and paste are core of Indian cuisine because those are used to make the base for gravy or curry masala. The combination of spices involves a lot of understanding of the spices and their combinations. The selection and knowledge of each spice is the first and the foremost step of blending masala. Some spices are used whole in combination, sun-dried or broiled and blended to form aromatic powder are called dry or powdered spices. And some spices are sparked in liquid and then ground to a paste are known as wet masala. In this module, we discuss about various pastes which are used as a base in many Indian preparation and gravies such as ginger paste, garlic paste, cashew nut paste, onion paste, etc. Apart from masalas and paste, in this chapter we have discussed about gravies, the base of Indian bulk cooking in hotels and restaurants. Indian home style cooking does not have the concept of gravies. These are some basic gravies which are commonly used in various preparations and some regional dishes. Thanking you and have a nice day.